Okay, today I am impressed to speak about some sentences I'll be reading from the book of Innocence. This is book 2 in the Manifestation Trilogy, which is penned by Paul Selig. This is a channeled text. This is actually from chapter 1, I Am Known, day 2. The bottom of the first paragraph reads, "What we suggest is that you move to allowance, to the state of being in the upper room, where all is met by you in agreement to its source. Now understand what this means. Again, there is one note sung that is in expression as all manifestation, seen and unseen. When you truly understand what this means as a principle, you align to it in the awareness that any true need will be met by Source, as you are in Source and not separate from Source." So as I read that, I got a flood of things that happened within this body. So I had some resistance, some fears came up, and I began to write about that. Well, I focused on the sensations of discomfort or disease within the body. And I really began receiving some information about that. And I apologize because the information was interrupted. So I will give you what I have and attempt to explain more about it. But the message that came in was radical acceptance. This is what my mind was, where the fear was coming from, because in my mind, this is radical acceptance, this allowance. And they said, radical acceptance, as you call it, isn't something to be feared. It isn't rolling over and being a doormat. Radical acceptance means knowing that everything and everyone you encounter, you have already agreed to. The encounter cannot, will not occur without the God that you are having already said yes to the occurrence. You may not remember saying yes, but it can be no other way. The fear of acceptance is only possible when you forget that you are the power driving, selecting, experiencing. Remember that as these experiences, occurrences, happenings come into your awareness, you get to choose how. And that's where it was interrupted. And even that is profound enough. You get to choose how. So when I read it, the personality self, the ego, the human earthbound aspect of me felt resistance and fear, because to just accept and do nothing, and this is where, my humanness was triggered. To accept, to allow. The ego, the personality structure wants us to go, no, is coded, encoded, was created, was manipulated to a tendency of fear. So when we hear certain things, that personality structure, the ego, the human self in physical earthly form, has a tendency to jump to a conclusion that is fearful. Not by design, but by an indoctrination of sorts, right? So the personality structure, the ego, the human aspect in form, was not designed to be fearful, though throughout time, throughout experience as a human, it has been encouraged into fear. It has been molded into fear, informed into fear, where a lot of us are influenced and informed in every breath, in every moment, by fear, which shows up in lots of different ways. So fear takes many faces. It can be anxiety, it can be procrastination, it can be, all kinds of different things, but it's all fear. So as the human that is present here in incarnation, that is referred to by name as Missy, jump to this fearful place where this means I have to just accept and allow everything that goes on. And I was right away brought back to truth and reality by Spirit, as they said, you're jumping to a conclusion. I don't even want to say a human conclusion. You're jumping to a fearful conclusion that you're falsely believing that this means you are helpless. You are falsely believing that this means harm or detriment to you. And these are false beliefs. The truth is that the experiences come to you by your choosing, by your calling, to show you something. It doesn't have to be fearful. It doesn't have to be problematic. You get to choose how you handle the situation, how you choose to be with that in the moment. What you choose to think, feel, do, say, pertaining to, regarding, in the midst of that. And now I'm being reminded that this is what Jesus said when he said to be in the world, but not of the world. You get to be in this human experience. You get to be in this space we call Earth, seemingly in, right? And while you are in that space, you still have free will. You still have the choices available to you to create your own world, to create your environment, to create the life that you are living. And so, when they say that you must allow, they're really saying to know in its fullness that your allowance is all there really is. The resistance through fear, by fear, because of fear, the resistance complicates everything. The resistance, which is brought about from a place of fear, it skews our vision and it alters our perception in a way that we are disempowered, that we forget who we are, that we forget that we are the power manifesting these opportunities for choice, these opportunities for growth. We are the cause, and we are also the effect. So these few sentences are so magnificent. Thank you, Paul Selig. Thank you. It's magnificent. And also thank you to the guides who brought this through him. That these truths are available to us. And I am very grateful for that, but I'm getting off on my me stuff, and that's not what this was about. So I just wanted to bring that into your awareness today. And if you find this video, if you see it, then it was for you. The book again is called The Book of Innocence. It is book 2, the Manifestation Trilogy, a channeled text penned by Paul Selig, author of I Am the Word. There are many, I would turn this around, but it's all backwards, which isn't that interesting, but the picture's really pretty. Paul has many different works that he has put out, and collaboratively with the guides, they are called. And even if you follow Paul Selig, his last name is spelled Selig. If you follow him on Facebook, there will be from time to time clips on there. You can find him on YouTube where there are excerpts of channelings he has done. I do tune into this from time to time. It did take me a hot minute to get used to the way the messages come through him, but I've noticed as time has come and gone, as time progresses, the messages I almost don't even hear. So there is, they call it a whisper, but it is a very the message is spoken very quickly. It comes in very fast, and then Paul will reiterate it from a more humanly comprehensive way of speaking. But over the years, as I listen, it all kind of blends together for me now, which is interesting. But at first, it does take a hot minute to get used to the way that message comes in. But I do find that when I actually read the text, when I read the books, these books act like a doorway for me, where a door opens and all of a sudden the truth of reality, the truth of all that is there with me. And when the door is open, I realize, I know that I am in it, with it, part of it, and inseparable to it. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I really highly recommend the books. Even the audio books, I do listen to those as well. And they are all incredibly helpful. So I hope this message finds you well. And peace and in love, may you be blessed.